We're home. It is the next day. We're going to do one last quick review of the machines that I bought, well, 2 days ago now. So yes, we have this Badger silage wagon, of which I haven't been able to find much of a model number on, but I believe it is before a 950, possibly. Looks like it could be a very highly functional machine for us and be much better sealed up. If you've watched the videos of unloading silage wagons, we tend to get a mess underneath both wagons in different spots. This one looks pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to come back here just because I ended up at this side of life at the other Badger wagon. This one has a serial tag down here. It looks like 30410. Is that truly the model number? It looks like another with a little bit of grease and oil. Be ready to roll and contain silage nicely. Yep. Lots of plywood. Nice and sturdy. I'm still loving these airplane tires. Yet again, I'm going to say this. Can somebody please explain the design of this thing right here? It's funky. And we were safe. Slow moving vehicle signs. We have the direct cut head. We set it up on pallets just because we use the forklift, and we'll probably use the forklift again to move it. It has the most curious design. Those springs on the mounts, well, it's designed for the head to float. Because if you look down here, there's a little bit of space. And we found out while chaining it down that these move up and down. Like I mentioned before, low wear. I mean, it's been used once or twice, but all the fingers on the reel are still there. Guards look good. It's a dual drive sickle. That's a new one for me. I've never seen that before, but here's the very middle where the blades overlap. And we come next door. Here's the better of the two heads, I believe. However, this is a replacement snout because it has 344, which is even more rare, and it almost hurts my heart a little bit to know that there is a 344 head, 3 rows wide, because it's rare, and now it's missing parts, so it's not being used. Yeah, I was trying to find a 3-row wide when I had the K, but that has long since passed. So we're working with picking and bigger combines. There's some paint worn, but it doesn't look too terribly adulterated with welding and bends and dings and dents. Interesting thing of note on this, the rollers down here, their only support comes from the gearbox. There's nothing down at the base, and we'll see if I can show that off. Yeah, they're free floating. So, and they've got the plugs for the oil, easy access I get, because I'm sure having however many pounds those rollers weigh, while twisting in the seals and the bearings, probably make it hard to keep sealed. So we gotta get our good supply of corn head grease. And we'll take one last look at the picker that we brought. Got it home, got it swung out. The most surprising thing, which I will try to show off right here real quick. It's fairly light. It doesn't have much tongue weight. I could have pulled it home with the Ranger. Hopefully pretty soon I'll be finding some taller tires. So the most disappointing thing is the fact that these are 11L14s and they're short. I mean, that's not much ground clearance. Even I really can't fit underneath that. I don't know what they were thinking. Look at that. I mean, shoot, that might get better if the tongue was lower. I did some measuring and it might not get much lower. We'll see a video of this shortly, but things to do. I'm going to go ahead and put a new chain on this because it's not touching, it is stretched. See those gap points on the sprocket, and then that add-a-link looks like it's worn a lot right there. And we need to get the chain. The heads were swapped at this consignment lot, I guess we'll call it. And they lost the chain, so I gotta get some number 60 roller chain and a whole lot of number 50. That is a long loop. Still have the decals covered, you know. Gotta keep that bag over its head. and we'll try it out. It'll probably hate me because it's green and I hate green, and it just knows it shouldn't like me. Yeah, look how ugly this is. That's a value decreaser right there. That's why I got the other head. We have the bolts out, so hopefully in the next video we're gonna swap heads and I'll show putting on the chains and everything, getting it ready to go. There's not much to grease. This has a lot of sealed bearings. So yes, next video we're gonna swap head, do a couple quick repairs and maintenance things. We'll go to the field. Now we're gonna walk around some more. I'm gonna show you a couple other things I picked up at auction. Other auctions, but I just didn't think it was necessarily worthwhile. I hate like every 2 weeks. Of course, it's been so busy, me going to auctions, but somebody mentioned I should get a transfer auger. Well, guess what? I found this thing for incredibly cheap. For a Ben Franklin and a Ulysses S. Grant, brought me home this auger. It's plenty too long, but it's 8 inches. And it got, well, we bought some soybean meal. Yeah, we didn't roast beans this year. We figured it was cheap where we ended up buying the bulk soybean meal from. The cost-wise versus us roasting the beans and accounting for the cost of the beans was cheaper to actually buy the bean meal and sell the soybeans. We also had some distillers mixed in to kind of, help out that price figure. So it's probably like, this auger is about 40 feet long, 8 inches. It moves so nicely. The only annoying part is the bottom drive. And I got it home. This was caked full of rotten beans. So quick pop that off. Cleaned it out and got it rolling. So that's fantastic. This has probably been the most useful auction buy. Now we're gonna come in the barn for my other favorite auction buy. I didn't know I wanted this until I saw it. Or maybe I have been wanting one, but just not finding one. And knowing the retail price of these feed boxes new, like there was a local fencing company and small portable shed builder that makes these. And I'm sure it retails in the $500 to $600 range. It's labeled to hold a ton of feed, but we got 3/4 of a grinder load in it, and there's still room. So it could hold a full 2 ton maybe. But the best feature right here, open the door, grain comes out. So I don't have to scoop it out of the freezer. I did leave the freezer here just in case if I need more feed storage, because between having the egg layers and the meat chickens and the hogs right now, I try to keep all their feed separate. I have different mixes for each animal. Like the egg layers need lots of calcium, the pigs don't, and then the meat chickens usually need lots of protein. So this has probably been, we'll say, by far my most favorite, just because of the handiness. It's a true labor saver over what I was doing before. Like, we're not replacing a machine or anything. This is true labor savings. No more scooping. I can empty the auger right in the top. It's wonderful. Now we have one more item to show off. Well, this will be the last piece for this video that I have bought this spring of note. It is a J&M gravity box. I don't know, is it a 200, 250 roughly? It has extensions. The big selling point of this item, and now, not that we necessarily need more gravity wagons, it is now the best looking gravity wagon we have. I know, we actually own a non-rusty gravity wagon now. Yeah, the rust holds the grain, the paint holds the grain. It looks good, feels good, still does the same job. So what does it have? Look, see this? See that red stripe? See those little tits on the tire? It has 4 of those, 4 brand new tires. And hopefully I can demonstrate this well enough. Now this is not a new J&M gear. However, hopefully you can see the wiggle. Like the hitch moves and the wheel moves. It's super tight, and let's find out why. A, the owner greased it a bunch. And B, I don't know why J&M went away from that design, but it has ball and socket joints. And those always seem to hold up better than the pins, and those are replaceable, such that it will always stay tight. The most disappointing thing about this sale day was that I didn't buy the auger. It's got the boot and the bracket to hold a seed auger. However, there was no small items at this sale, which I had bargained for time-wise that morning. and I was just a few minutes too late. They sold the auger separate. The farmer had 5 wagons, not like this one. This was the best wagon. He had 4 smaller wagons, but all had boots for that seed auger, and he just transferred that one auger from wagon to wagon. So it was not attached. They sold it separately for kind of cheap at the beginning of the sale because nobody was there and prepared to bid because they probably expected small items, and there was not. So I'm kicking myself over that one. So if anybody has the auger for one of these, let me know, because I have everything else I need. I've got the bracket and the boot for it. Yep, it's an orange box. The farmer liked it's flambeau orange. The farmer liked case, but paint is paint. That's been all my major auction buys so far. Try not to go too crazy. Maybe it's Bandit's influence. He tried to get me to buy another gravity wagon at this last sale where I bought the corn picker. But, you know, $1,000 is $1,000. Might have been a big wagon, but still, it's $1,000 out of my pocket. I can just keep borrowing Bandits if I have to, if I need more storage space, right? I couldn't convince Bandit to buy it either. Well, happy farming, guys. And we will see you later with more fun farming adventures.